Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Smoking Simian podcast. I'm just going to say it slower and slower each episode. In fact, one episode might just be me saying the Smoking Simian podcast. So that's my goal. Either way, thank you guys for tuning in on this lovely Monday, second week of 2021. It's already been eventful. It's already been very eventful. I didn't talk about, I don't think I spoke about the whole Capitol rushing or anything really much at all. When did it even happen? I don't think it happened in time for me to even speak about it on a podcast. But my episode on Thursday, we don't even really talk about it. It's fucking crazy. I guess my view on it is I don't give a shit, kind of like everything else. I don't give a shit. It's a crazy fucking thing that people went and stormed the Capitol. But, if you protest and you're into that shit, why not go to the head of the government, right? That's where Congress is. That's where Senate is. If you really got a problem with the government, you should probably try to get a hold of the people who are in charge, if we're being real, Do I agree with the people who are a part of it? No. If they were Trump supporters or anti-whatevers, I don't know. Again, I only know that they went and rushed the fucking building. But would I ever go and do that? Hell no. Behind anything? No. There's no shot you'd get me out of bed that morning to put on a suit with horns and paint my face and rush the Capitol building. There's no shot I would ever do that in my life. But if you're into protesting, you're into that kind of thing, then I think it only makes sense for you to go after the highest ranking officials, the people that really have the power and the effects. I mean, who knows? That could be one of the craziest things, one of the craziest protests. That probably is one of the craziest protests that's ever happened. Just a bunch of fucking people ran into the building. If you watch the video, people are complaining, well, the police didn't do anything and this and that. If you watch the video, there's no police. Like, don't get me wrong, they should have been there on the spot, you know what I'm saying? But there's nobody guarding that motherfucker. There were like 5 cops, or 5, whatever you'd call them. And you see them just get swallowed. You watch the video of just this mob of angry people running up, ready to start a fucking revolution. I mean, if I'm one of those 5 cops, I'm getting the fuck out of the way. I'm going home. I'm clocking out. Fuck that. What the hell? Thousands and thousands of fucking people coming. That they all agree with the president. They all think that the election was a goddamn lie. I mean, whether it was or it wasn't, he's not the president anymore. That's it. I mean, do I believe that the election process was completely legitimate? Completely no, but legitimate enough, 100%. I mean, was there absolutely zero fucking, what's the word I'm looking for, fraud? Was there absolutely zero? Probably not. I doubt it. There's definitely some fraud in there. Was it enough to overturn this? I fucking doubt it. I highly doubt that. But that's just some asshole in his basement doing a podcast. I don't know anything about anything. But I figured I'd touch upon that topic because that's just what the fuck it is. It's 2021, starting off with a fucking bang. So thank you guys for holding it together with me on last week's episode. So I wanted to come on here and tell you guys kind of my process of what had happened on trying to get the YouTube video up for last Thursday's episode with Mr. John Amore, which, by the way, I want to extend my gratitude for him to come through twice, really, and bear with me. So we had planned a date, right? We were going to meet up on a Saturday, last Saturday, right? We were going to meet up and say, hey, we're going to do our thing. It'll be up on Thursday. The reason why I'm doing these so far ahead of time now is because I'm still learning the audio, the video and all that shit. So I want to give myself ample time to fuck with it and make it work. So Saturday comes, we meet, we're doing our thing, and we're about 10 minutes in, and the mics just cut the fuck off. They just shut off. It's fucking great, right? I love it. And an error message is coming up, this bullshit error message that I end up looking up, and it's like, oh, GarageBand has that, message that comes up. There's really no way to fix it unless you just set it aside for a while, restart the computer, yada, yada, yada. Essentially, it would just take us to reschedule. That's the only way it's going to fix it, because we're not going to sit here for an hour and a half trying to. He sat there with me for like 15 minutes while I kept saying sorry, but he was very patient. So long story short, we had to reschedule. We went from that Saturday to Monday. So we're like, all right, we'll meet back up on Monday. We'll get this motherfucker going, and we do. We get it going, and we finish. We get the whole podcast done on Monday. Perfect. Now I have, Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday to get the thing up. That's plenty of time. And there was really no editing that had to be done. I didn't have to, especially with the video now, I'm trying to get away from the editing because you edit the audio and the video and the cuts look weird, and I'm trying to get away from that with the podcast. At least, Jesus Christ. Now you guys can see how much I hiccup. Or do that weird thing where it's like, it's not even hiccup. It just presses your fucking body. I don't know what the fuck it is, but, Monday comes, we do the thing, and now I have these next few days to figure it out. So I had a USB drive that was about 64 gigs. And I'm assuming that my other two videos and some of the other shit that I put on my laptop onto that flash drive had filled it up. But I wasn't sure because I'm a moron when it comes to this tech shit, and I couldn't find how much space I had on the thing, yada, yada, yada. So, Tuesday comes, and I fix the audio and the video to match each other, and then I get it in iMovie, and I put my thing in, and it's not downloading. It gets to like an hour, or like it says an hour. Oh, okay, you got an hour left, and it finishes like halfway through, and then it just cuts off. And, I'm wanting to bang my fucking head against the wall because I'm not understanding. Right, so Wednesday comes, and I'm still kind of messing with it. I'm still kind of doing the same thing. By this point, I didn't have the idea to go get an external hard drive. Wednesday during the day, pretty much. And then at night, when I'm like, okay, this shit's coming out tomorrow, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And it's nighttime, none of these stores are open, I can't go get a thing. So, again, I just keep trying to do the same old shit. I'm trying to do what I had been doing with the flash drive, and it just wasn't working still. So Wednesday night I go to bed with the laptop on and plugged in and whatever, and I wake up at like 2 in the morning to check on it. Nothing. I do it one more time because I'm going back to bed. I'm not going to sit up all night fucking around with this thing, because I know essentially I need a hard drive. It's a storage thing. I go to sleep. I wake up early, like 7:30. That's early for me. And the thing just didn't download. I'm like, fuck. Because the audio had already downloaded, or the audio was already out on Spotify and everything by that point. I set it real early in the morning, so by the time I get up, I can just get it out there and whatever. I don't have to wait or anything. So that's when you saw me start putting up things on my Instagram. That's why I'm telling you guys it's so important to follow me on my Instagram so you can kind of keep up to date with a lot of this shit. So, Thursday morning comes, and I'm running around. I'm like, fuck, frantic. And I'm thinking, all right, all I need is the hard drive. That's all I need. All I need is the external hard drive. We'll make it work. It'll be up in a few hours. And essentially, if it was that easy, it would have just taken a couple hours. So I storm out of my house, super upset, speed all the way to Staples, which really isn't that far. But I sped all the way fucking there, flew it. Pedal to the motherfucking metal, people. And I get there, and I'm like, all right, all I need is the external hard drive. I pick one up, and I get to the thing, and I'm like, oh, this is the external one, right? And they're like, no, this is the hard drive you put in the laptop. And I'm like, wow. All right, how about an external one? You guys got those? And they're like, no, we don't have any. So now I'm in this little in-between zone because Best Buy doesn't open till 11. And, Staples is useless, essentially. Fucking cocksuckers. And now I'm just sitting at home, and I'm just pacing back and forth. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then I kind of come to grips with the fact that there's nothing really I can do. I just have to wait. So I wait till 11, and I'm already super upset about it because the podcast is out, and I'm a very particular person, so I want all that shit to be out at the same time. But obviously, things aren't perfect, and yada, yada, yada. So I get to Best Buy at 10 of 11. I'm the one who starts the line to get into Best Buy. There was probably no need to start a line, but I was going to be sure to be the first one in that motherfucker because of how irritated I was. So my idea was I was going to go in there, I was going to grab the fucking hard drive, and then I was going to go to Starbucks right next door because I had a gift card that my lovely girlfriend got me, and I was going to have a coffee, and I was going to figure it the fuck out there. And the reason why I wanted to do it there was because if it didn't work, then I could just go right next door and return the fucking thing. I don't got to go back and forth and whatever. So I do my thing at Best Buy, I check out, and I get in my car, drive to the Starbucks that is a second away, literally, it's in the same plaza, and I walk up to the door, and there's no indoor fucking dining. So, by this point, I am about ready to drive a Lionel through a nursery. I'm about ready to rip every inch of my beard out of my face. And that isn't even the worst of it yet, but I'm very, very frustrated at this point. And then, so I leave, and I'm like, all right, I'm driving up and down Route 6 in Seekonk, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? Where am I going to go? I don't want to go back home, because if, God forbid, this shit don't work, I got to drive all the way back. So I decide on Panera Bread. They have coffee, they have food, whatever the fuck. All I wanted was to sit down, have a coffee, and figure this shit the fuck out. And get the episode on YouTube. So I sit down at Panera Bread, and I plug in my WD, whatever the fuck it's called. And I had to download some shit, which I understood. And then now I'm trying to import things. And, when you see like a no smoking sign, they have that like circle with the line across it. That was coming up every time I put my mouse to the import button. And, that was getting very frustrating. So I fucked with that for about 10 minutes before I had to Google what the fuck is the problem, and I had to download another fucking process or another program, whatever the fuck it's called. And that shit worked. I was like, okay, now it works. The thing that I thought would take me 5 seconds by plugging it into my laptop took me an extra hour of me fucking around. I had to do research. The tech shit's just not for me, guys. It's so fucking beyond anything that I want to know about, anything that I want to learn. I'm just forcing myself to do it because I love this podcast so much. And I want to grow it. I want to be on YouTube. I want to, all this shit. So now the thing's working. It's working, and I'm in Panera Bread, and I'm drinking my coffee. And now I'm like, okay, let's try and download this thing from iMovie. The thing that was causing me the problem, right? At the beginning of the story where I would say an hour and it would cut off at a half hour. Now it's like, all right, I have the hard drive. I have the space. Let's do this. And it does. It works. And I'm like, oh, yes. Because this thing would pop up and it would say, hey, sorry, but it failed. But the pop-up that says that it worked looks exactly like that. So it came up and I was like, I was ready to cry tears of joy in Panera Bread. I was this close to being moved to tears because of how hard I had tried to figure that shit out. So now I'm excited. I'm like, let's just get it to YouTube. And by now it's probably around 1 o'clock, right? I started this whole thing at 7:30 and I had been relentlessly attacking it since 7:30, and now it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm doing my thing, and YouTube says, okay, between like 1% and 17%, right? The time was going down. It maybe said an hour. As it got to 4, 5, 6%, the time was going down. 56 minutes, 50 minutes, 48 minutes, some stupid shit. And I'm getting hope. I'm like, oh, nice, this is going to be good. And then it gets to 17 and it just stops completely, just dead stops. And, it's just now that time that I was telling you, it's going up. Now where it stopped at maybe 48 seconds, now it's at an hour and 10, an hour and a half, an hour and 40, 2 hours and 10. You're like, oh my God, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And then I realize, all right, the video's done. We just got to get it on YouTube. Let's, go home. Everybody's on this fucking Wi-Fi here. Let's just go home and we'll get it done on our own Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody there. So I get home and I'm doing my thing on my laptop, but I'm on Safari. And for whatever reason, Safari doesn't work as good with YouTube if you use Google Chrome, because YouTube and Google are fucking linked. And I'm downloading the thing, and it gets to anybody that uses YouTube or downloads anything on YouTube. Uploading the video is not enough. Now it has to process it, right? It can't just fucking upload. It can't just upload and be that. Now it has to be processed like we're making canned ham, right? It can't just be the ham. Now we gotta shape it and fill it with preservatives and put it in the can. This is a fucking YouTube video, people. Just go on the fucking YouTube. Use the definition that I put on there, the resolution, whatever the fuck it's called. Use that shit. Why the fuck do you have to process it to fit? Like, it's just irritating. It's just irritating. You can hear it in my voice. You can see it if you're watching me right now. How annoying that shit is to me. So what happens, it 100% downloads or uploads. Then it gets to 95% processing. Standard definition. It's not even a high def. And I'm uploading it at high def. I think it does both. I don't fucking know. It gets to 95 and it just stops. It just stops completely. Oh, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, essentially. That's what it's saying. So now I have to completely restart. I go on to Google, and that was like an hour. You know what I'm saying? That was like an hour of waiting. So now I go on to Google Chrome, and it's flying through. Long story short, I get the episode on YouTube at like 4:30 in the afternoon, which I'm sure hurt its views somehow. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up to you guys is because if you're doing something new and you're not fucking things up, then you're fucking up. You understand? If you're doing something that you want to build, doesn't need to be a podcast, doesn't even need to be a job. It could be a hobby or whatever. If you're not fucking things up, then you're not learning. You're not doing the thing. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, this shit is annoying. It's super fucking annoying. And that day was miserable because the day before, I worked from 5 a.m. The Wednesday, I worked in the morning. I got up at 5. I worked all fucking day till 3 or whatever the fuck. And then I came home and I immediately hopped on the podcast thing. And I was tired and I didn't feel like fucking doing it. And then I went to sleep that night, kind of, right? Just the reason why I say kind of is because I was completely worried that it wouldn't work. And, the next day was just miserable because I didn't have my eyes. I look like a raccoon, people. I look like a raccoon. My eyes were just completely black around the thing. And I'm not here to say it like, oh, I'm hustling and I'm working hard. No. I'm using myself as an example to say to you guys, hey, if you're not dying about the thing that you're trying to get done, that you're trying to fix, that you're trying to work out, then there's a good chance that you yourself will fall out of it because you're just not all the way engulfed. If you're not that worried about, oh my God, I make candles and I need to get 30 of them out tomorrow and I only have 20 done and I usually have my partner with me. I'm going to have to go through the whole night. Then that's what the fuck you have to do. That's what the fuck you have to do. If you really care that much, that's what the fuck you have to do. If you got to stay up all night making candles that you usually have a partner with, or the time constraint is fucked up, then I don't know what to tell you. Your business can fail. That's cool. Your hobby can lack. Your skill set can lack. That's cool. But if you want it to be something serious, then you have to take it seriously. And the only way to prove to yourself that you're taking it seriously is when you meet these kinds of adversity and you force yourself through it. You force yourself to find a way to work. There were plenty of times that day where I was like, oh, I'm just going to stop. I got to take a nap. I'll put it out tomorrow. It's fine. There was a delay. I'll make an Instagram post. People understand, right? People understand. Oh, technical difficulties. He's new at this. Whatever. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. I'm not making any money off this, but what if somebody paid me? Think about that. What if somebody's paying you? That's why I brought up that like candle idea. You can use it as anything. It doesn't need to be candles. It can be whatever the fuck. But somebody paid me, right? Or I'm over here. What the fuck is this? Get out of here, Adobe, you fucking cocksucker. You don't even exist anymore. I'm over here. I put money into this. I paid for this shit. I decided to go down this road. If you decide to go down something and you decide to fucking do something, you have to do it. You have to take the hardships. If the hardships if they don't feel like a need, if they don't feel like a necessity, then there's probably a problem. Probably a problem. You're probably, you need to dig deep and realize, hey, this is something that I really want to do, and I got to figure it out by any means. I have to figure it out by any fucking means. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys that story. It's not about me grinding or working hard or any of that shit. You guys should, I'm here to motivate as best as I can, but I'm an advocate for fucking around. 100%. I'm 100% an advocate. We're not on this earth to work incredibly hard with incredibly regimented lives the entire time. I don't think so, personally. Some people do. Some people, and don't get me wrong, you're probably saying, Antonio, what the fuck? A couple weeks ago when you were getting your resolutions ready, you're talking about schedule and this and that. Sure. But for your whole life, there's no shot. There's no shot I would ever do that. I work hard to get to a place to where I can fuck around, right? The reason why I'm building these entities, this podcast and my brand, the reason why I'm doing that is because one day I want to have ample time to fuck around. That's why. It's obviously I love the podcast. I love this process, and I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't. But I'm not on this earth to work until I fucking croak, or until I reach some amount of money and it's like, all right, let's get that next big amount. No, that's not what I'm here for. And there's this emphasis, at least in the American society, on work. Emphasis on work. Work. You got to go to work. You got to work hard. I put in 70 hours this week. I'm about my bread. I disagree. You might be about your bread, but you ain't about yourself. You feel me? Where, money is a necessity on this earth, or definitely in this country, but money is needed in this earth. If you want to do whatever you want to do, you need money for it. Unless you want to just be a homeless bum, then you're cool. You don't have to worry about money ever. If your mind is made up, hey, I'll live in my car the whole rest of my life. I don't give a fuck about money. Then cool, more power to you. I wish I could feel like that. Really, I do. I wish I could just fucking not give a fuck as much. But there's this big emphasis on work in this country. And you could say in the world, it's not just this country, but I live in this country, so I know. And I've been to other countries that take siestas in the middle of the day. In Italy, everybody goes home at like 12 in the afternoon to eat, to rest. They come back at 2 or 3, and then they stay open for a couple more hours, and that's it. Their day's done. Everything here is hustle, bustle. Come on, we got to get work done. We got to do this. Meeting there. Talk to this guy there. Suck that cock over there. Like, there's 1,000 things you got to do all the time, and it's good, but it's for a whole life. That's why I'm trying to do my thing in the short term. Everybody else is looking long term. When I retire, it's going to be great. I don't know why I'm pretending that everybody in my generation sounds like an old man, but a lot of people wait to live their lives. A lot of people wait until they retire from that job that provided so much for them throughout their life in terms of money, but didn't allow much freedom, didn't allow much expression. There's people who retire longing for more, thinking that, oh, wow, this is my retirement. Some people go and get another job. They go and get a part-time job. Like, are you sick? Are you crazy? You're 68, you just retired, and you're going to go work in a Subway? Taking tickets? Like, it's insane. It's insane to me. The crazy emphasis there is on work in this world. it's it's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a workaholic. I'm a workhorse. I shouldn't say workaholic, but I'm a workhorse. You put me to work, I'm gonna work. And if it's something that I love, it's something that I'm gonna die about, then I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work at it. I'm gonna do my best to try and get successful at it and try and get to it wherever my goal is. And that's where it should be. If you're gonna work hard, have it be on the things you love. And allot time for bullshit. Set time for bullshit. There's plenty of, obviously people are in different situations. You have kids, you have families, whatever. But there has to be some time in the day where you can just sit back and do that thing that you like to do that doesn't involve thinking, it doesn't involve anything. You don't have to be productive every single second of every single day. This is some bullshit that they're trying to feed you, Don't get me wrong. Again, don't get me fucking wrong. Work hard. You have to work hard. I just told you guys the story of me running around like an asshole. That's because I was scared that I wouldn't get the episode out, and that was hard work. It was more than I had expected to do. But to just work, you're sick. You're a sicko, if we're being real. If you're one of those 70-hour-a-weekers, I'm about mine, I'm about my bread, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Now, again, different situations. You have kids, you have to work those 70 hours. You're a single parent, or even if you're a married couple. There's plenty of married couples that have to work overtime for them to make ends meet. And for that population of people, I hope for your sake and for your family's sake that you can find a way to mitigate that. Because when you realize that you're just working your life away, it's not a great thing. It's not a great feeling. I felt that at this bakery job that I'm not at anymore. You can go back to the first episode when I started talking about it and see now, in terms of length of how long I've been there, because it hasn't been very long, but I hate it. I hate it very much. I feel like just a machine, essentially. I was going to say a piece of meat, but that sounds weird. I feel like a machine. I feel like I'm just there to play the role, serve the role, and that's it. No laughing, no fun, no talking, none of that shit. That's exactly how I feel there. Not to mention, the owners are dickheads. They scream at the employees, and it hasn't happened to me yet, but God forbid one of them screamed at me. Two of them are ancient, the other one's younger. He's a grown man, and I would never hit an old person, but if that grown man ever said anything to me, then there'd be a fucking problem. That being said, I'm not threatening anybody. I just left that job, that's it, because I don't want that to happen. I don't want anything to escalate to the point where and again, I'm no tough guy. I would never lay hands on anybody, but I'd have no problem standing up and saying, hey, fuck you guys, fuck this job, have fun replacing me, go fuck yourself, and walking out that day, not giving a fuck. In fact, I probably would. I was going to say not giving a fuck about my pay, but I would probably say, hey, I'll be back tomorrow for my fucking money. And that would be it. So, to avoid that whole situation, that whole stress load and whatever, I just quietly left. And that's it. It's a miserable place to be, and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. That being said, I have no job. No job. Again, this is part of the entrepreneur life, jumping from job to job and whatever, because to me, there's no job that's going to satisfy me. There's none. There might be some that I like more than others, some that pay well, some, whatever, but no job is going to be like, oh, you know what? I can see myself doing this for a while. No. After a while, I'm going to be fucking annoyed. Whereas something like this, I can totally see myself doing it for a while. Running my own business, running my own podcast. I can 100% see myself doing that for a long time. That's why I want to do all my hard work in the short term. I don't want to be a person that's been engulfed by work their entire life. Think about it. If you're doing the same thing your whole life, or the same couple things your whole life, you're going to get used to it. And when it's gone, that's why you see these retirees looking for another job. They have a void to fill. They don't know what to do. Can't be me. Can't be me. It won't be me. I'm trying to work triple time what everybody else is working for the short term, 5, 7, 10 years. But eventually there's going to be a coasting period where I'm going to start finding my exit plan out of this. And I'm getting way ahead of myself, obviously. I'm not even in it to have an exit plan yet. But, this podcast isn't something that I think I would walk away from. But my brand, my business, my goal is to one day sell the technology that's up here. I haven't said it yet. The brand that's coming out won't have any of the technology that I'm thinking of in it, or any of the things that'll make me a different player in the fight gear brand. But once that shit's in there, the idea is to sell the business and have a big lump sum to create passive income with through real estate or some other bullshit, so that I can just live the rest of my life not worrying about anything. My money's just coming in. Commercial real estate, franchises, whatever the fuck. Something that I don't have to be there for. I can be in Jamaica smoking big Bob Marley joints, you know what I'm saying? And I'm checking my bank account. I got plenty of money in there. That to me is the dream. So the only way I'm going to get to that point to where I don't have to work is if I work like a motherfucker. Even that view is different, and in my mind better than the view of work that we have currently, the view of work that we have growing up. Work hard, work like a motherfucker. Yes, work hard, work like a motherfucker, but not for your whole goddamn life. Not for your whole fucking life. Hell no. Are you crazy? Are you fucking nuts? Your whole life? You're gonna work like a motherfucker your whole life. It's sick to me. It's sick. I could never do it, and I'm happy I've come to grips with the idea, and I'm happy that I'm leaving this bullshit job, essentially. Normally right now I'd be on my way to work or something. I'm assuming at the time you guys listen is the morning or whatever, but I'd be at work, or maybe I'd even be a couple hours in because I'd be there early, 6 a.m. It's trash. Like, who the fuck wants to do that? 6 a.m., and I have to be in a miserable building, and I have to do a repetitive-ass, dumb-ass job, and none of my coworkers speak English, and the people who run the place are dickheads. It's not worth the $18 an hour, people. It's not worth it. And there's plenty of people who go in there and say, oh, hell yeah, this is easy. I would do this job. Sure, and that's great. And it's a good pay by most people's standards. 18 an hour isn't bad, especially for doing a dumbass job like that, unskilled labor or whatever. It's hard to find unskilled labor jobs these days. So if you want to do that, more power to you. Again, $18 an hour is good, but I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. It's tough. One of the hardest things about being an entrepreneur is fucking, capital, building capital. It's tough, but because right now I have to work those BS jobs. And I'm still open to I think I said this last Monday, but I'm still open to being a finance, job-oriented job, But just at this point, I'm not getting any bites on any. There's no jobs hiring me. It is what it is. I'm not complaining. It is what the fuck it is. That's why I'm finding a new route. I'm finding a new way, and I encourage anybody who has the means to do so and has the opportunity to do so, to make your own opportunity. To make it, the only opportunity that we're given is to make an opportunity, right? Every other opportunity has to be given to us, right? An opportunity to work for somebody, an opportunity to train under somebody, an opportunity for a promotion. That's all given by somebody else. The only opportunity that's innately born with us is being able to create our own opportunity, which is the hardest one, oddly enough. But if you have the means and you have the opportunity to do so, create your fucking opportunity. Again, everybody's situation is different. If you have a family, you've been at a job, whatever. It's tough. It can be done, but it's tough, and I understand, and my heart goes out to you. And for those people, I'd say maybe find a hobby or find something that takes your mind off of the dread of work and all this stuff. If it's dreading you, if you love your job and whatever, you're a fireman and it's very rewarding, or you're an accountant or whatever the fuck, a doctor, and you really do love your job and it's rewarding and you feel great when you get done, then I'll go fuck myself. And you want to do that your whole life? That's great. You found what the fuck you want. That's great. My voice is for the people who don't know what they want. They're trying to figure something out. If you're going to work so hard figuring something out for yourself, why not have it come from yourself? Why does it have to be some other entity? I don't know what I want. But I gotta work a job. I need a career. I need a way to make money. I need a way to make money. What the fuck am I gonna do? Instead of going out and looking, I'll go back to school, and that's a great idea too. That's my backup plan. If nothing works, I'll go back to school. I'll get my master's or some shit, and I'll keep applying and whatever. And it's good to have a backup plan. Some people say no plan B because it takes away from plan A. Go fuck yourself. You need plans all over the place. Plan B, C, D, W, X, Y, Z, motherfucker, and everything in between. So all I'm saying to everybody is, if you have a desire for more, it's out there. It's 100% out there. In the beginning, it's tough. The beginning stages is very experimental. It's doing soul searching and deciding this is really what I want. And once you decide, you have to stick with the decision. There's a point in your life where you have to stick with something. You can't keep switching. You got to pick with something. You got to stick with something. So that's all I got for you guys on this Monday. I hope you took something from what the fuck I said. Thank you guys all so much for listening and bearing with me. Hopefully going forward, that experience that I had last week will, point me in the right direction, doing the rest of this shit. And that's it, guys. Follow me on Instagram at abarbosa000. Follow me on Twitter at the Simian _. Subscribe, like, comment, and share on YouTube. Tones Production. Tone like ding, tone. Tones Production. Not Productions, Production. Right now it's just a picture of me on there. We're going to zhuzh up the page like we do everything else, but right now it's still bare bones. YouTube is still super bare bones for me. I'm getting used to it. And so subscribe on there, share, follow, and subscribe wherever you listen to the show on the audio platforms. And again, most importantly, is to follow my Instagram. If you want updates on anything, it's on my Instagram all the time. I do the stories, I do whatever the fuck. If there's something I got to say to you guys, I say it on there. At least in short, if there's something that just pops in my head and it's like, I got to get that out there. It's on Instagram. So make sure you guys follow me on that. Give me some feedback wherever you can. I know the comments on YouTube is one place. Instagram, message me, all that shit. I probably won't follow you back on Twitter. No, I don't know. Whatever the fuck, guys. You know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Thank you guys all so much. I'm going to talk to you guys on Thursday again. Peace.